Welcome to Vibe Talks. This is where we take sources you send us, dive in, and pull out the key stuff. Basically, a shortcut to getting up to speed, maybe finding some things you didn't expect.
Yeah, exactly. And we know you, our learner listener, you want the insights, the different angles, those aha moments, but, without getting bogged down.
Precisely, yeah. So today we're digging into this really interesting personal story from Medium. It's called Don't Live in a Murder House. In the summer of 1988, my friend Kevin.
And our goal here is to sort of unpack this account, see how things like, real estate, local history, and just personal life can crash into each other in really unexpected ways.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's LA, summer of 88. Kevin, the friend in the story, he and his girlfriend Leigh, both actors, they need a place to live.
And LA rents, even back then, were apparently just soaring. They were trying to make it in the Hollywood Hills, but, money was tight.
Super tight. So Kevin's looking, being really pragmatic about it, and he stumbles upon this place in Laurel Canyon. The rent, just $450 a month.
Wow, $450. Even for 88 in Laurel Canyon, that sounds almost too good to be true.
Right. That's what Kevin thought, in terms of a deal anyway. The article mentions he was focused on the price, the location. Didn't look too closely.
What was the place actually like?
Well, the first impression wasn't exactly stellar. It was this 2-story stucco townhouse, paint flaking off, rusty balcony bars, that kind of thing.
Okay, so a bit rundown.
Yeah, but in a beautiful neighborhood, you know? So he figures cheap rent, good area, month-to-month lease, perfect. He signed basically on the spot. Didn't even do a proper walkthrough inside.
Uh-huh. That immediate need for affordable housing just trumped everything else, it sounds like. A classic case of maybe ignoring some red flags because the price is right.
And those, let's call them unforeseen costs. Yep. They start showing up pretty fast. Leigh, his girlfriend, she starts having these nightmares.
Oh, really? What happened?
Like really vivid, terrifying ones. Almost always around 2:30 in the morning. There was this figure, a gray-haired guy, maybe 50s, blood red eyes, jagged scar. Yeah. And this figure would physically push her out of bed in the dream, night after night. She was terrified.
That sounds absolutely awful, just relentless. How did Kevin react?
Well, he tried to be rational, tried to explain it away. He even wanted, the article says, if maybe this figure was some kind of symbol for, problems in their relationship.
Trying to find a logical, maybe even psychological reason. Trying to smooth things over.
Yeah, brought her flowers. Tried to be romantic, but the nightmares just kept getting worse. In one, the figure actually stabbed her.
Oh my God. Okay, that's beyond just a bad dream.
Totally. That was it for Leigh. She insisted they had to move out now, which, caused a huge fight with Kevin. He didn't get it, or maybe didn't want to get it, and they broke up over it. She moved out.
It really shows how much our living space can mess with our heads, right, and our relationships. Her reaction was so strong, it clearly wasn't something she could just ignore. The place felt wrong to her.
Definitely felt wrong. Okay, so Leigh's gone, a few weeks pass, and then comes this really weird moment. Kevin's outside just watering the plants or whatever, and a Hollywood tour van pulls up, stops right in front of his house. All the tourists inside are just staring at him.
Staring at him? Why?
His first thought, this is hilarious, he actually thought, maybe they think I'm Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, wow. The Hollywood dream meets something else entirely. He had no idea.
Not a clue. He's thinking movie star mix-up. They're thinking, something much darker.
So when did he find out the real reason?
About a week later, he's just watching the local news, and bam, there's a picture of his townhouse, his actual house, on the TV screen.
No way. Why?
The news was doing a piece. It was the 7-year anniversary of the, quote, brutal Laurel Canyon murders. Yeah. 1981.
In his house?
In his house. 4 people. Savagely murdered right there. On Wonderland Avenue, the story involved porn star John Holmes, apparently, and some kind of drug deal revenge plot gone horribly wrong.
Oh my God. That is, the shock to see that on the news about the place you're living in.
And it gets worse. The news showed an old crime scene photo from inside the living room. Back in 81, bloodstains visible, a body bag near the fireplace.
And he recognized his own living room.
Instantly. And then he looked down at his own living room floor near the fireplace. And he sees these old brownish stains on the shag carpet, stains he hadn't really noticed or thought about before.
Oh no.
Suddenly, Leigh's nightmares, the pushing, the scar, the timing, maybe even the weird vibe he'd have probably been ignoring. It all clicked. The article says he just yelled, dropped his beer, and ran. Literally ran out the front door in whatever he was wearing.
Pure adrenaline dump, fight or flight. You can't script that kind of realization. The floor, The photo, connecting those dots in real time, horrifying.
Absolutely. So what's the first thing he does? Goes straight to the realtor. Furious. Understandably.
And what did the realtor say? I can only imagine.
Get this. The realtor is apparently just like casually eating cup of noodles at his desk, and he tells Kevin, totally nonchalant, oh yeah, those murders happened years ago.
Nonchalant.
Completely. He explains that under California law back then, they only had to disclose stuff like that to buyers, not renters. So legally, they didn't have to say a word about the, multiple homicides.
That is quite a loophole. Legally, okay, maybe, but ethically, wow. Just wow. That feels incredibly wrong.
Kevin definitely felt tricked. I mean, his relationship fell apart. He'd been living there totally unaware. Now tourists are gawking at his house.
Yeah, it's more than just finding out about a crime scene. It directly impacted his life, his relationship.
So the realtor, maybe feeling a tiny bit bad or maybe just wanting to smooth things over, tries to make it right, offers Kevin another rental, even cheaper this time.
Oh boy. What was the catch with this one?
Okay, so this new place is this sort of moldy bungalow. But it has a yard, a big garage, a lemon tree. Sounds okay, right?
Waiting for the other shoe to drop.
It was Charles Manson's old place.
You are kidding me. He went from the Wonderland Murders house to Charles Manson's old bungalow.
Yep. The realtor conveniently left that detail out when offering it, but Kevin found out later. Thankfully, he kept that bit of info from Lee when she eventually decided to move back in with him.
Smart move. So she moved back in.
She did. Kevin apparently just assured her very carefully that the new place had no history of murder, torture, kidnapping, or animal cruelty, which technically might have been true about that specific bungalow, even with the Manson connection. Small mercies.
Wow. What a story. He just hoped the tour vans wouldn't find this place, I guess.
Exactly. Talk about unusual circumstances.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How history, even really dark history, is just there under the surface of everyday life, like renting an apartment.
For sure. Kevin started out so practically, just needing cheap rent. And he ended up tangled in this incredibly disturbing local history with major emotional fallout.
And that whole buyer versus renter disclosure thing, it really highlights a potential gap, or at least an ethical gray area, doesn't it? What renters deserve to know versus buyers.
Yeah, definitely food for thought. Despite everything, Kevin and Lee did get back together, but now their relationship has this extra layer. This incredibly bizarre backstory connected to two infamous LA crime locations.
It's a testament maybe to their resilience, or maybe just how strange life can be. But it really drives home how places hold stories, hold echoes of the past, sometimes in ways we really don't expect.
So it leaves you wondering, right? What unseen histories might be attached to the places we live, work, just pass through every day?
Exactly. And how might those hidden stories subtly shape our experiences or feelings, even if we're not consciously aware of them?
Definitely something to think about next time you sign a lease. Or maybe just walk down the street.
Yeah.
That was today's Vibe Talks. Keep listening, keep thinking.